Good morning, everyone. This is Phantom.
And I'm that old hairy vet.
You got out of the corner again.
No, I'm still in the corner. I can yell.
Oh, yeah. Not a very big corner, after all. How is everyone doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm here, conscious and alive, so that's a positive.
I'm conscious.
Okay, then. Today, we're reading some stories for r/ Am I the Butthole?
I'm like the buttocks.
Yes, yes. And our first story is from Always Allergy 9060. Ooh. Will I be the butthole for having security escort my wife out of the hospital where I was staying? I don't know. What did she do? I, 38, work as a high school teacher where my wife, 32, is a stay-at-home mom. We have one son together. Last Wednesday afternoon, I was using the guillotine trimmer in our copy room. Is that big board with the knife that I don't like to use?
Yep.
Okay. For those of you who aren't familiar with this device, the large blade in the table part. To operate it, you put the paper on the table and chop down with the blade part. Okay, we had those in my middle school. I hated that thing.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment of carelessness, I let go of the blade handle when trying to adjust the position of the paper. The blade came down on my right hand.
Yikes.
Yeah, it left me with 3 of my fingers being chopped off around the first knuckle. Okay, I'm just gonna
Right here.
time out and say this does have a trigger warning now for blood and possible injury.
Blood, 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 blood. Blood.
My vocal reaction led to half the staff running in to see what all the commotion was
His
about.
vocal reaction. I like that. My screaming like a biatch.
The more Swedish excused themselves, and my principal, being a saint, actually retrieved my fingers and drove me to the hospital. I immediately went in for emergency surgery. As a side note, if you do accidentally chop off some fingers, you can put them in a cup of ice, but go immediately to the hospital for your reattachment surgery.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah. Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Yes.
So make sure they are on ice so they don't go. I can't remember the word, but you know.
Yeah. So the tips. I have a question. How come you have fingertips? We don't have toe tips.
I don't know.
How come you can tip toe but you can't tip finger?
Please stop.
Okay.
It's true. It's a little soft question.
Now you know why they keep me in the corner.
Yeah, no shock and all there, folks. After surgery, the doctor told me that I would need one more surgery to repair the damage, but miraculously, I should basically get all control of my hand back. Wonders of modern medicine, I suppose. At the time, I called my wife and told her there was an accident at work, but she need not worry. After going into detail, the first thing she asked if my workplace was going to pay me for the time I was taking off, and it was going to send us into crippling medical debt. I mean, valid. The U.S. healthcare system sucks, and you survive barely trying to pay off the medical. So
I have to disagree with you. I think the U.S. medical system is awesome, and there are very few people that actually have that happen to them. It's just that when it happens, it's spectacular.
Okay.
But we can have a whole discussion on the American healthcare system and socialized medicine if you like. But I will say this: anybody who thinks that the U.S. government should be providing them with free medical care, I suggest that you go to a place. The largest chain of hospitals in the United States is run by the federal government. Most people don't realize this. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they're called the Veteran Administration Hospitals. So if you want to see how the government is going to take care of your health care if you put them in charge, go to the VA hospital, check it out, and then let me know if that's what you want. Continue, hon.
Will do. I first assured her it was a workman's comp issue which we wouldn't be paying a dime for. Then she asked when I would be home because the garbage stank and someone had to take it out. I reiterated at this point that I had just lost 3 fingers in an accident, and she responded that it was my turn to drive Trevor, our son, to daycare the next morning. I hung up on her because when she gets like that, nothing can really placate her. She'll just rapid fire questions after question, and she called me back up, but I turned my phone off to prevent it and went to sleep. Well, the next day I woke up feeling like absolute hell, and a few hours later my wife showed up apparently. She was able to find out which hospital I went to through my workplace. I accepted her as a visitor, thinking she had calmed down. But she walked in and started tearing into me. What the fuck? About hanging up on her. I listened for about 15 minutes or so, to be honest. I was kind of high on painkillers and don't remember that well. And then called the nurse. I told the nurse that she was agitating me and I just wanted her to go. My wife's reaction to this was shock and began causing a scene, so the nurse called security and escorted her out. I got home from the hospital yesterday. My wife was absolutely livid with me. I tried apologizing, but she said she had never been so humiliated in her life and she would just stay in the hospital and I should just stay in the hospital forever. Does she have a point here or was I in the right? And the first comment I see on this post, looks like the top comment, is, "Mate, I'm sorry for you, but not the asshole." And this was by Nixon Name. You need a new wife because you are a possession to her, not a person. The situation was reversed, and you did as she did. What would she have done? A broken home with healthy boundaries is better for a child's development than an unhealthy, uneven, unloved, and or unappreciated home.
Yeah, I gotta agree. She does not view him as a life partner. She views him as someone to do chores.
Yeah.
First thing she asks, "Oh, you have to take the trash out tomorrow." "Oh yeah, okay. Well, they've only got one of the fingers on reattached, but luckily, hon, it's the middle finger, so I can show you. Yeah, they just reattached it. Look how good it is. Look at that middle finger, honey. It's all nice, new, and attached."
Alrighty then. Yeah, I say not the asshole in this situation.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Dude lost 3 fingers, was spurting blood and screamed, and he's in the hospital high on painkillers. What the hell is he supposed to do? Dress and drive and do the hula? If you get that reference, kudos.
Yeah, okay. All right. So now, this is from, where is he? AITAH. No, that's Am I the Asshole? Where's the name?
Know anybody.
Oh, you know anybody. Know anybody. Am I the asshole for not having sex with my husband for 3 days and him calling his mom to come get him because he was so irate?
What?
Wow. Now that's a hissy fit.
Oh, also.
My husband is 31 years old and he still wears diapers. No, I didn't. He recently got injured and is non-weight bearing. He recently got injured and is non-weight bearing and off work for 6 months to a year. I've had to pick up all his extra duties around the house with the kids and animals, and I became his full-time caregiver on top of working full-time. My plate is full. I'm exhausted most days by bedtime. Well, tonight I was tired. Told him I wasn't in the mood. It's only been 3 days since the last time we slept together. He got so irate and started screaming at me and went to the couch. I told him to cool off. Then the next thing I know, he called his mother to come pick him up. Wow.
Wow, that's an escalation of biblical proportions.
Yep. This one, and we got Odsaz says, "This will not get better. Let her take care of him and get things in order." And then the usual canary, 7764, says, "This is genius. Let the man-child go to mommy and be a burden to her mommy. Please, under no circumstances, call him back. When he does come back, just behave like he went to the grocery store and returned. No fuss. And certainly no apology. Which mature human being throws a tantrum because their partner was generally too tired to give them some? He needs a reality slap. Give him by being aloof to it all."
Yeah, generally not the asshole here.
Yeah. And he will try asking you why you haven't called him or blah, blah, blah. You tell him, "I never kicked you out. You left. You come and go as you please. You're an adult, apparently."
Yeah, I gotta admit, he does sound like a man child, though.
Oh, my mommy said that I could come here and get a blowjob.
I mean, yeah. That just seems very childish and just not good.
He's out of work. No jobs for him.
Oh, let's see
He
if I
can't bear the weight.
humor. We have jokes, but not very
These
good
are the
ones.
jokes, people. These are the jokes. All right.
Never said they were good ones. And our next story is from Rue Disaster, 1658.
1658 was a very good year. That was, I believe, 8 years before the Great Fire. No, wait.
Which Great Fire?
The Great Fire of 1666.
Okay.
In which 2/3 of downtown London was completely burned. And you never heard about that?
I did. I just don't remember the year.
Really? Too bad. You should have somebody take you to London and show you around. So anyway, there's a place called, in London, it's called The Monument.
Oh, here we go.
Because the English are so clever when it comes to words. So the monument looks like a mini Washington Monument. But to be honest, the Washington Monument is actually a big monument because that one was there first. But anyway, you have this Washington Monument, okay? Type thing, like a needle. It's set at the exact center of the area that burned. It's as tall as the radius of the burn.
Okay.
And there is one step for every person who died in the fire.
Oh.
Which means the steps are not standard height.
Oh.
And you gotta go up this twisting stairway all the way to the top. It's a view. It used to be the best view of London until they built the Sky Eye, the Millennium Eye thingy.
Okay, yeah.
And I've been up there. It is gorgeous. Oh my! It's so hot because it's just that like an extra inch and a half that just keeps you have muscle memory, and when you go upstairs, you're not like looking at the stairs. You're going, okay, I need to lift my foot 11 inches. And you don't even think of it, you just do it automatically.
Yeah.
You know, but over there, oh my God, I tripped so many times going up that stair. I got a great story about your mom, but it's not suitable for on air. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
It has to do with the monument.
Okay, then. Moving on back to the story. No more sidetracking, but it's like living with a squirrel, so I can't help that.
A squirrel.
That's for the dog. She's now looking at me because I said squirrel.
Well, she's not. She's still licking herself. Hi, Lucy. How's that taste?
Am I the asshole for calling the cops on my sister after she snuck shellfish in my food? I've posted this in other subs, but it keeps getting removed, so I'll try one last time. I, 21 female, and my sister, 23, have never had any issues until last week. She and her husband, 23 male, had invited me over for lunch, which is normal for us. I have a severe shellfish allergy. Oh, okay, I see where this is going now. Even touching it makes me extremely itchy. My sister is completely aware of this and has been since we were children. When I got to their house, she said that food was already finished and in the fridge. She claimed it was just a tuna pasta. Yes, I can eat tuna and many other fish, just nothing with a shell. After she finished cleaning up, we had a short conversation about what's been happening in our lives since it had been a while since we've seen each other. I got this strange feeling from her, but just brushed it off as I was extremely tired that day. She grabbed the food out of the fridge and served it, and giving me a small bowl in case I don't like it. I couldn't smell much of it, and from what I could smell, I just assumed it was fish. When I took a bite, I almost immediately felt my throat burning. Oh, this is very bad. I know where this is going. I was coughing and grabbing my throat, and her husband kept asking me if I was choking. My sister turned to me and panicking and saying, I thought you were exaggerating. An ambulance was called, and I was rushed to the hospital. I was thankfully okay, but they had me stay to be monitored for the next 2 days. My sister and brother-in-law had tried to visit me, but I had told her to get out. She kept apologizing and refusing to leave. I told her that I'll be calling the police on her for what she's done, as it's literally attempted murder, and she lost it. She kept screaming at me, saying, I know you're faking this. You always act like you're allergic to shellfish, so I wanted to test you. I've been pressing the call button for the nurse, but they heard her regardless and asked me if I wanted them removed. I said yes. I explained the whole situation to her and the hospital security, and eventually decided that with the help of the nurse and security guard, I file a report against her. My mother is saying I'm overreacting and that I should have just cut contact, but I also don't know anymore. Also, when I was a young child, my sister had witnessed me have a severe reaction and went to the hospital where I underwent treatment. She was also there when I was informed I had a shellfish allergy. Yet, you may be wondering why I never had an EpiPen on me, and that's because I didn't feel like I needed to, as she's my sister. Am I the asshole? Edit. I'm not in America. My country has free healthcare, so I can't pay her any medical bills for me. Uh, comment from crying right now.
Wow.
Please help. As I said when I saw your original post, not the asshole. Your sister was very aware of your allergy and has seen you react. She absolutely intended to harm you.
Now, you know what? I've read similar stories to this, and it's usually born out of jealousy. For some reason, her sister does not believe. She thinks that she was faking it so she could get attention. Even though she knows she went to the hospital, she has thought her entire life that her sister was just playing it up for attention. And she, being, well, you know what? Since my panties are in a bunch today, I'm going to prove that she's been lying.
Yeah, how did that turn out for you?
And I've seen a lot of people, they don't understand that this is real and that people die. I have a friend of mine who died from anaphylactic shock because of peanut butter and chili. Did you know that some restaurants put peanut butter in their chili to thicken it?
No, that sounds disgusting.
Well, she's dead.
Shit. So not the asshole, obviously. Yep. And you should totally sue for attempted murder. You have witnesses who heard her saying that. You have proof of a shellfish allergy. And if your sister doesn't think it was, then she's insane.
Yeah, that wasn't even just like, an accidental manslaughter thing. She did it on purpose. She pre-planned it. That is murder one.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I am doing this on purpose to you. That's all.
Yeah. And I believe you have one more time to read one more story.
Do we?
And it's from Doodle D's 123. Am I the asshole for telling my wife's family member not to feed that to my child?
Of course not.
Most family members think they can overstep boundaries like that.
Am I the asshole? Let's see. I was at a family outing the other day. I was away for a moment, and I walked back over to see my child, 14 months old, in my wife's aunt's arm with a sucker/lollipop in her mouth. I'm no expert, as I'm only a first-time dad, but pretty sure hard candies are a no-no at this age.
Is that true? You can't give a baby a lollipop or whatever that is, a sucker, when they're that old?
Yeah.
Well, you're a dad of 4. You should know.
I wouldn't. First of all, it's too much sugar. Okay, and second of all, it is way too easy to choke on. Okay, so no. I look at my wife, who was standing nearby, and said, "Whoa, where did she get a sucker?" Her aunt turns around and responds, "I gave it to her. Is something wrong with that?" I guess my facial expression showed that I didn't approve, as she then proceeded to say, "Fine, I'll take it away." Of course, at that point, my child starts crying, to which the response was then, "Sorry, your dad doesn't want you to have a treat," and made a whole scene about it in front of multiple of my wife's family members, and it came across that they also thought I was overreacting. All I could say at this point was, "Sorry, it's a choking hazard." On the way home, my wife said that she is glad that I said something, as she also did not like the fact that she gave her the sucker, but my wife is very passive and not one to confront others. I don't mind to be a bad guy when pertaining to my child's safety. I just don't know if this is a situation where I was a bad guy. So I ask you, fellow Redditors, AITAH?
No, you're not.
Edit. Hope this is a situation where I was a bad guy. So I ask you, fellow Redditors, AITAH?
No, you're not.
Edit. Glad to know the overwhelming sentiment is that this was a bad move on Auntie's part. Did want to add that my wife is a spectacular mother, but obvious flaw is that she avoids confrontation. Obviously, I should have said something in this circumstance, but do not want you guys getting the wrong idea about her as a parent as a whole.
Thank you for clearing that up. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of another story that I heard about a wife who, against doctor's orders, was giving their baby adult food like applesauce and stuff like that, and the kid kept getting constipated.
Oh yeah.
And the husband's like, "No, stop that! You can't do that. You have to give her formula." And when they went to the pediatrician, the doctor's like, "Yeah, you can't do that." And the wife got all huffy because my baby, my rules, and she can eat what she wants. But
she's stupid.
Yeah.
And that's when I say don't bet against Darwin. That woman is killing her child.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about her reproducing anymore. The let's see. And Kaliki says, never feed child or pet anything before you ask for permission. Basic human knowledge. Spiritual Victory 541 says, and if you're told no, never overreact and cause a scene. And then we got Yankee Girl saying, can I jump on my soapbox? Why do people think it's cute to feed other people's children whatever the hell they want? Both my kids spit all kinds of bullshit I specifically told family not to. They just straight up don't care. Strangers will ignore me too, no matter how many times I say no. Kid doesn't need that, they just give it anyway. It's so mind-boggling and rude. If you don't, so will just do it. It's something my then 6-year-old told me about having candy. After I said no in front of their grandmother. She smiled and starts to reach for the candy after I had already said no. In my sweetest voice, not if she ever wants to see you again, she won't. Respect is respect.
Why do people not get boundaries, especially family members? There's like so many stories of family members just crossing boundaries.
Family members don't respect each other.
Yeah.
And it's because you know everything about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know too much about everybody in your family. It's also, like I've said before, like a lot of times when you're working, you're at a place for 4 or 5, 6 years, and you seem to be stuck in the same position. It's because everybody in that office sees you as that position. And a lot of times you have to actually leave the place you're working to go to a different company just to be recognized for your skills. And the same thing in family. Family members look at you and they don't say, oh, this is an adult 30-year-old woman. They look and say, oh, I remember when she peed her pants at the beach. You know, that kind of thing. No, it just, you know, oh, I remember when she bent over and the goat hit her. It doesn't matter. The point is, as a family member, you know too much about that person and you don't respect them.
No.
You respect them as a family member, but you don't respect their intelligence because you know too much about them.
Makes sense.
You know?
That's just our long way of saying that OP is not the butthole here.
Yeah. There's no you don't get the benefit of the doubt. You know?
Yeah.
There's no because family members have no doubt.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So it must be right.
Yeah. Now it's time for you to go back in the corner.
Oh man. Okay, good.
Well,
It's a good day out.
Well, no, I think I saw a spider or two over there.
Delicious.
And that will be all of our insane ramblings for today.
Ramblin', RAMBLIN, apostrophe.
And if you like today's insanity, please don't forget to drop a like, comment, and follow.
Yes, we are the bucket of useless knowledge. How much can you put in a bucket? We are trying to find out. I am that old hairy vet. I'm going back in my corner, and Phantom is so happy about that.
I'm Phantom. Ciao, guys.
Later, Gator.